Hey guys, welcome today, Friday edition of From the Pastor's Heart, and good to see you today. So we look at Psalm 25 and verse 5, and this is what it says: Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. Up until about 25 or maybe 30 years ago, my dad father and mother had a cabin on about an acre of land of his old home place, off of his old home place. It's up in Nelson County. You go up Route 56 from Racine, and you wind your way up the mountain, born in a little place called Montebello. And if you blink or if you sneeze, you would miss Montebello. But it had a post office. But for the time that we were going up there to stay at the cabin some nights with them, the post office had long since closed. But I tell you that because I mentioned the route going up the mountain there, Route 56, had a lot of twists and turns getting up to uh, before you get to the Parkway and a little section of Augusta County, and actually a little country church right there at the Parkway where Janet and I were married 45 years ago. A little church still there, of course, and no electricity in it, only candles on the wall. And so that brings back a lot of memories too. But I digress. I get back to going up the mountain, the windy road going up the mountain. And there was one place that my dad always told me. I remember him telling me from the time that we were young, going up and visiting the folks who lived in his home place. They were good friends. This really tight curve going around, rocks jutted out. Almost if you were coming down and in that curve, and if you got too close, it would scratch down the side of the vehicle. The rocks were sticking out so far, so close to the road. And it was called Narrow Passage. And I thought about that this morning as I thought about this because, life is always changing, and sometimes change is good, but sometimes change is not so good in our lives. It's um, rarely pleasant, even as we get older, rarely easy either. We are most interested in pursuing the most comfortable path and the most comfortable route in life. And if there were probably some other way, and there was, to get to where I was talking about, could have taken it, but it was a long way around to be able to do that. Well, the psalmist today asks God to direct us, direct our steps, basically, because He is the God of our salvation. Uh, Allow Him to set our paths for us, because we, quite honestly, most always prefer the road that is frequently traveled, but everything within us as humans scrambles to stay on the roads that are already traveled, the roads that are already blazed. The path is already there. The road is there for us and ready. But God often leads us down unknown paths, and sometimes those paths can be filled with narrow passages and surprising turns. But that's where trust comes in, and that's where belief and trust comes in, and faith in God to know that even though the passage may be narrow, the path may be a little bumpy at times. There may be some surprising turns. We must trust in Him to do what's right for us. And you can speak of this and think of this in many different ways concerning our situations in life. Uh, just always trusting God, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's family situations, whatever it is. God always has a hand in it. He'll lead us on the right path. And sometimes, yes, sometimes things look like there may be a little bit of a squeeze, but as long as we're careful and as long as we're following God, we'll get through without the rocks scraping down our sides. We'll get through. I guess what I'm trying to say is we'll get through unscathed. So, blessing to see you today. Looking forward to Sunday as always. Of course, the boldness that says rise and walk this coming Sunday, and that is in Acts chapter 3. We'll look forward to seeing you. It shakes the world, I think is what I put. The boldness that shakes the world was on the post. If you haven't seen that yet, be sure and pull it up and share it with two or three, four, five, maybe 10 people. And we'll look forward to seeing you then. Hope you have a blessed couple of days until we see one another again, God willing, and those creeks don't rise. Remember that He loves you, and so do I.